In 1950, the Korean peninsula was in ruins, and the crisis of women and children who had lost their parents echoed throughout the land. Sadly, Korea is still a divided country today. However, South Korea overcame the tragedy of war and is now one of the world's top 10 economic powerhouses. It boasts well over 60,000 churches with over 10 million members. How could the Republic of Korea enjoy today's prosperity without the noble devotion and sacrifice of the veterans who gave blood, sweat, and tears for our country? We have not forgotten the precious blood and tears shed by the veterans who came to our country 71 years ago. Starting in 2007, with the meeting of Pastor Kang Sok-so and Korean War veteran Larry Reddick, SaeEden's Church has held an appreciation event every June, designated as the Month of Patriotism and Veterans in Korea for veterans from all around the world. This event has earned international recognition and since its inception in 2007 has hosted 5,000 veterans from 8 countries including the US, UK, Canada, Philippines, Thailand, Australia, Turkey, and Colombia. The Korean War Veteran Appreciation event was held not only in Korea, but also in the United States and Canada. The veterans who have visited Korea at the invitation of SaeEden's Church for the past 13 years have been able to recognize the value of their participation and sacrifices during the war, while experiencing the genuine gratitude and compassion of the Korean people. When they returned to their home countries, they enthusiastically became advocates of South Korea, telling their families and friends about the generosity and development of the Republic of Korea. Through the hard work of Pastor Kang Sok-so and his committee members, the action of SaeEden's Church began to be recognized around the world. The SaeEden's story was even highlighted in a KBS documentary called Again to Korea, Their Last Return, which greatly touched and inspired by the Korean people through its depiction of how SaeEden's Church has single-handedly hosted a large-scale international event for 15 consecutive years, something that's usually only done by government agencies. In 2020, due to the global coronavirus pandemic, the event was held online via Zoom. In 2021, the event was again held online, but this time with advanced virtual reality and metaverse technologies. Using Korea's cutting-edge AI technology to restore the youthful appearance of 10 Korean War veterans, the men were awarded medals of appreciation in what appeared to be real time.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Korea's state-of-the-art AI technology was also used during the memorial service for the dead and missing veterans. Elder Jong-dae Kim, the chairman of the preparation committee for the event for the past 15 years, lost his vocal cords due to laryngeal cancer surgery and was unable to speak. However, with his voice restored by AI technology, he was able to read the names of the 10 dead and missing veterans, introduce them, and list their respective contribution to the war. The audience was greatly touched by Elder Kim's moving tribute to the fallen heroes. For the past 15 years, we have dedicated our best efforts to repay the noble devotion and sacrifice of Korean War veterans. Every year, we make a list of overseas veterans to invite and make many phone calls and emails. We make a budget for the event and select places to visit that are meaningful and memorable to veterans and their families, such as the ROK National Cemetery, Panmunjom, Marine Corps, and Army Special Forces training facilities, the Korean War Memorial, Samsung Electronics, and a Han River cruise. We're honored to provide our guests with the best limousines, the best hotel and meals, and one-on-one interpreters, all made possible through the dedicated and grateful young volunteers of SaeEden's Church. The appreciation event for the Korean War veterans and family is a place to express our sincere gratitude by touching and comforting the wounds of all veterans at home and abroad. It is an event that has taught history, nurtured patriotism in our children, and instilled in us a sense of gratitude and national security. Though our peninsula is still divided, it's sure our event for the Korean War veterans will be laid a path of flowers for peace in the world and the end of all wars. The Korean people will never forget the noble sacrifice and devotion of all UN military veterans who shed their blood for freedom and peace 71 years ago when they came to a land that they had neither seen nor heard of before the war. We will always remember the sacrifice and dedication of the Korean War veterans and their families. In particular, we will never forget the blood and tears of the United States. We pray that God's blessing and grace be with the security of the Republic of Korea. Thank you so much.